It's the God Young Montu-Ra, and we're back, kids. What's up, my guys and goddesses? I appreciate everybody for tapping in. We got another epic episode 45, the Stellium in Aquarius. I want to appreciate and shout out everybody that's been streaming and downloading 369. Just had my interview drop today. If you follow me on my socials, please tap in and read that. It's a great write-up, and I appreciate shout out to Lime.com. It's basically an interview is about our diet, and she makes these great delicious delicacies and inspired by our music and kind of what we eat. So it's a very awesome tray bake. It's a vegan tray bake, so definitely tap in on my socials with that. Spotify numbers are still going up, and I wanted to talk about today about this stellium here, because we've been in a sense with this new energy that has been upon us for the past since that full moon in Leo in opposition with Aquarius. We've been talking about this new synergy that's happening as the collective consciousness, as all of us. And I want anybody out there that's listening to this, can you feel this daggone energy? I can feel it. I've been getting turned up. I've been getting a bit agitated with myself, with my life, just wanting to progress more, wanting to innovate my life more, desiring to continue to be better, to be even better than I hope to be. So that's something that we're all kind of feeling, if we know it or not. But this stellium is with the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and Pluto all in Aquarius right now. A stellium, basically, if you don't know, is three to four plus planets in the same sign within close degrees of each other. So that is why this energy here is having this huge impact. If you ever had a reading done, this is probably, the most important thing if you have multiple planets in the same sign. But this Aquarius energy is undoubtedly the most innovative, progressive, rebellious, and humanitarian energy that we know of, in a sense, right? So this is that revolutionary energy. Remember, we talked a lot about revolutionizing our life, transforming our life. We're at a pivotal moment in our life where we're trying to transform, but we're also trying to be rebels. We're rebels with the cause. But this is that revolutionizing energy that is requiring us to almost appreciate our understanding of ourselves, appreciate the people around us, appreciating the collective consciousness as a whole, tapping into our soul tribe families, connecting and networking with people. But this air energy is all about the mind. It's all about the intellect. It's all about being curious. It's tapping in deeply with our social environment. Remember, Aquarius is an air sign, and we're going to talk a little bit about why this is a representation of the water bearer. Sometimes we get misrepresented of the aqua of being Aquarius. Sometimes we might think it's a water sign, but this is that mystical healer sign that bestows water or life upon the land. So in tarot, this is represented by the star card, visualizing as a larger than life mythical being with 1 foot firmly planted on the soil, representing a sense of being grounded and one position in the water. So Aquarius is basically holding the vase, which pours new streams of inspiration to cultivate longevity, healing, and hope. And here is so important to remember about the Aquarius energy is removed from this process. From this vantage point, I would say, is like positioned in a way to be independent. Aquarius is about being independent, controlling our own fate in a sense, but also understanding that it is separate, but it's not separate from the life force, from our life energy, from our surroundings, from people in our circle, from our network. This is all kind of in retrospect, everything goes together, but we're basically taking a step out and saying, you know what, how can I impact the world? How can I use my gifts and talents and abilities to impact the global scale with my energy and with our understanding of our life's purpose? And I do think that's where we're all gearing towards. We're all desiring to want to live our life to the fullest potential, to be able to connect deeply with our community, with our family, with our friends. And this energy is also rooted in teamwork, collaboration, and the concept of the greater good. So this is what we're all experiencing right now, if we know it or not. And I wanted to take a brief moment to be able to express this, because this is very powerful energy. This energy is here. We have 5 energies in Aquarius that are having a huge impact, especially with Pluto being there, just getting there basically from the retrograde period. And we talked a lot about that, but this is very powerful energy, and it's going to make a difference in our world as we continue to grow through this spiritual journey. So the sun right now is at 28.14 degrees as I record this in Aquarius. So remember, the sun is about our ego, our identity, our consciousness. This is where the light is shining for us in Aquarius, though. So let's understand how we basically use all this energy on our projection of ourselves with the Aquarius energy attached to it. So let's keep that in mind. Mercury is at 19.43 degrees. And this is, like I said, about how we communicate, our connection to learning, how we understand and interpret things. This is how Aquarius is using Mercury for us as well. Venus is at, Venus just got here in Aquarius. So it's about 0.56 degrees. So this is the way in which we love beauty, art, harmony. How can we show the way we love with our art? How can we communicate our artistic abilities to the collective? I've been putting out music every fucking day for the past month, every single day, because I realize it's like, okay, either I'm going to let the music die in me, or I'm going to just put it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been saying. It's like, that's where we're at, trying to make harmony, trying to make our art, our beauty, our love, our passion to the collective, to express our God-given abilities. We also have Mars in Aquarius at 3.12 degrees. So it just got there not too long ago, maybe a few days. And this is how we take action. This is our energy. This is us being assertive. This is our ambition, is in Aquarius right now. How can we innovate? How can we be aggressive in innovating our life? How can we have the ambition to be the best projection of ourselves possible? And we also have Pluto there. Remember, we talked about Pluto with the Leo full moon. It's going to go retrograde again later this year. And we're going to talk a lot about Pluto as it makes its transition into Aquarius for good at the end of this year, headed into 2025. So remember, Pluto is about the transformation, the subconscious. It's very intense, and the ruler is Uranus. So that's that innovation, that's that rebellion, that's that revolutionary part of us that it may not be on the outside. We may just want to revolutionize our inner being. We might have crazy thoughts like I do, and I suppose a lot of other people do, where we're trying to revolutionize from our old childhood, from our old ways, from our old habits. And I think that is very important. But especially as we continue to move through to the new year, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But as we end this cycle with the sun in Aquarius, this has been a time for us of real deep self-development, I believe. Expressing maybe more than we usually do, setting us apart from the crowd in these traditional ways. Sometimes we, and that makes so much sense. It's like sometimes we have these traditions, we have these holidays, we have these different seasons where we don't even know what the fuck we're actually, what tradition it is. It's like, whose tradition is this? Why are we having these traditions, these holidays, these different names for things that obviously weren't that good for us when we do our research, but we just do it anyway. It's like, no, this is just what we do. And I'm like, fuck that. Let's do our own history. Let's do our own background checks on these fucking traditions and these different things that are in place for us on this globe. And I do think that's what we've been doing while the sun has been in Aquarius. But this is that new, that futuristic, that high-tech energy, that lifestyle, that cycle that is underway for us with our own ideas, with how we're going to use technology to change the way we live or to help us be better. This is the major focus. This is that something that is basically enhancing our sense and purpose with our mission. We're going to have to use the technology. I'm going to have to promo this shit. I don't even like to be, I don't want to be on the internet every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be putting videos of myself every day. Fuck that. You know what I mean? But that's how we're going to have to be able to have an impact on a global scale, because we can connect with anybody anywhere, and with our fingertips. You know what I'm saying? So that is something that I believe this has helped me personally, with the self-development of expressing myself. While the sun has been in Aquarius, we still have Mercury there as well. The tried and true doesn't cut it anymore. It's a new way of life. This is that original, this is that organic energy now. This is something that Mercury is helping us to be more critically thinking, having these thoughts that become more and more part of our mental patterns and the way that we communicate. We're very inventive, we're original, and this is that high-tech energy. Remember, Mercury is about the way we communicate, like we talked about before. So this is helping us to understand another air sign, helping us to understand how we actually processing a lot of things in our life, how we processing this next move, how we understanding how we're thinking and how that affects our life. And I'm talking to myself as well. How am I processing how I'm thinking, from old thoughts to the bullshit, to the lack of whatever the case is, to the bad habits, to my old mistakes. These are the things that are coming up and rising, so we can deal with them, actually think about them, and have these calculated and make calculated decisions, and so we can push forward with our thoughts and understand that, hey, we're actually going to think it, we're going to write it down. I've been writing a lot these past few weeks, just understanding what am I thinking, been journaling a lot, been just doing a lot of things in my own psyche to be able to understand myself even better. And Venus in Aquarius is this is that almost distaste, I feel like, for the conventional ways. Feeling the pettiness of conversation, feeling the bullshit coming from others, feeling the motherfuckers raising their noses at you because they think they're in some higher class because they got some type of material thing. And we're all done with that. We're all looking for love, joy, peace, and happiness. And that's what this new cycle is, especially with Venus in Aquarius. I believe this is something that we want to look at it from a global scale. Like, I love humanity. I love the earth. I love Mother Nature. I'm actually out here in the woods right now recording this. I love being next to this pond. I love the trees. This is how we're going to express our love. And this can be from an unconventional way as far as our romantic relationships as well. Our social connections we might be around motherfuckers that we feel like, they might stick their nose up at us, or they look down on us, and we like, nah, we not with all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We want to get with people that resonate with us, that are vibing with our energy, that understand who we are. And those are the relationships that are going to have the best impact and the most impact on our life. And we have Mars in Aquarius as well, that god of war energy. It's the god, young Montu-Ra, the reformer, the inventor, the engineer, the revolutionary. These are important archetypes for this new cycle, because it's getting underway right now. Our ambition is stirred up right now. I can speak for myself freely. My ambition, my desire, my drive is turned up right now. And at the same time, I've been like, fuck, I made a mistake. I'm not going hard enough. I gotta get it in, But this is because we want that independence. We want independence from a job. We want independence from anything holding us down. We desire that independence from any situation, person. There's a car back here. I'm actually close to the street in the woods, so that's why you heard that. But annoying fucking sound. I apologize about that. But this is something that we desire, that freedom. Freedom from the past patterns of our life. The freedom from the old thoughts and the old habits. This is something that is helping us to innovate, because we're on the path to achievement right now. We're going to need this energy to go to this next phase. We're going to need this Mars God of War energy to push through, to push the envelope, even for our own life. So that's something to be aware of as well. And last, we have Pluto in Aquarius. So we talked a lot about this in that episode with the full moon in Leo. But this is that revolutionary again, but it's the reform, it's the rejection of the past and the focus on the future. These are the signature phases of a new beginning. The tradition becomes irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? The conventional wisdom is revealed as dogma in my own experience. The traditional ways, the wisdom coming from priests, pastors, and popes and all this bullshit. Let's be honest with you. I've traveled the world several times and I've seen the same shit. There's nothing new under the sun. Motherfuckers is coming out. Things are getting exposed, and we already know what time it is. We know that things are coming to the surface, and this is something that is going to help us create our own path. It's going to help us to say, you know what, the way I think actually isn't bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers is trying to fight for you to stay in chains. People are trying to fight for, having the government run your life and run everything around you. People are fighting for that because they're not aware. Now, I don't have the answers for anybody's life. I tell everybody, do your own fucking research before you even try to have any conversation with me, or for me to have any conversation. I want to do my own research so I can come to you and talk to you with some intelligence, but also from my own perspective. So when we're talking about this Pluto in Aquarius, we're talking about these radical changes, in all things: social, intellectual, economical. We're talking a lot about this revolution coming from our life. We're going to see it on the outside world as well. You best believe it. I'm predicting 2025 to 2030. People are going to be out of jobs. Nobody's going to even be here working or anything like that. This is going to be something that I believe is going to impact the global scale. Somebody's screaming out here, but this is going to impact the global scale in our life. So with Venus and Pluto in alignment today, as I'm recording this, we're seeking that transformation, but in our relationships as well, metamorphosizing our feelings and our affections. The moon spends the day connected with communicative Gemini as well. So we're focusing on the light interactions with people. We're focusing on the harmony with Chiron as well, and our North Node. So this is very important on why we need to have some type of reading and things like that, so we can really stay focused on how all these transformations actually affect our life, on our actual signs in our life, right? So with the moon being in Gemini, our basic instinct is to communicate, to think, to learn, to understand the influence of the moon in Gemini. We are motivated by a desire for the variety of curiosity. The moon in Gemini is lighthearted, breezy, spirited, curious, restless, and fickle. So with another air sign as well, I think this is very important, how we look at all the air that's coming in our charts, right? So remember, if you listen back before, there wasn't any air signs. We didn't have any air signs. We were lacking the consciousness, the connection, the communication ability. Now we're overloaded with air signs, and we have the moon on the opposite side from Aquarius as well. So this is that mental communication. This is that reading, that learning. This is that writing. This is that teaching. This is making connections. This is us tapping into others, being able to connect with others. We have Jupiter in Taurus. We have Saturn still in Pisces. We have Uranus in Taurus as well, Neptune in Pisces. So we're getting there through our own way, but we're getting there in a sense of being able to say, you know what, this is the perfect time for us to get ready for the new year. We're ready for the spring equinox. We're getting there in about a little over a month. Can't believe it's already February, which is crazy. But this is where the transformation is going to be final in my own personal experience. But my last point is, I kind of got sidetracked. Somebody was screaming at their dog, so I'm like, I have my notes here too. But is this the age of Aquarius? It's like this is what a lot of astrologers have been wondering. I believe it could have started in 2012. I believe it started in 2020 with the with the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. I talk a lot about that. But some astrologers say it doesn't start till 2597, and that's according to the International Astronomical Union, the IAU. They're saying 2597. I'm saying it's starting right now. You understand what I'm saying? We are there right now. We are in this new age, and we can tell we're in this new age. We know that when we feel it in our soul, we know when we feel it in our body, that this is the new age of us rebelling against whatever the norm is, whatever the tradition is that doesn't coincide with us, that doesn't work for us, that doesn't resonate with our spirit. We know we are in a new age, and I know I'm not speaking I know I'm speaking to the choir right now, but I know I'm not just speaking just for me. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that I believe is something that we are tapping into right now. But that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Much love to everybody out there. Make sure you download, you stream, you continue to tap into 369. It's on every social platform, I believe. I have over Stammy Remix is dropping on 2/22. I do have another project that's going to be dropping. I believe it's going to be on the new year. So it's going to be 3/21. I believe I'm going to do the exact calculation. So make sure you continue to follow me on my socials at official Montu-Ra, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Official Montu_Ra, TikTok, and Instagram. It's the God Young Montu-Ra. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.